Good morning and welcome to another video. Cummins video part 2. Today we're doing some stuff with some metal, which I guess is every video because, well, things are metal. But I have to make something. I have to make something again. This time, not directly for the station wagon, which I'm pointing at a tree, but it's right there amongst the vehicles, amongst the Mopar here. So I'm making a engine dolly, engine stand, engine cart, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a square with 4 wheels and a handle, so I can move the 12 valve, which is sitting just left of the 240, right there. So I have to take that and get it from there into the back room so that I can rebuild it, possibly even into my workshop area. What am I listening to? That's the real question here. It was elevator music. So I'm going to make a cart. It's going to be 2 feet wide. This engine, let's just go take a look. Let's go look. So this engine, from passenger side motor mount to driver side motor mount, is almost exactly 2 feet wide. And the distance from the crank pulley to the bell housing adapter is exactly 3 feet. And the depth is just about 3 feet as well, I believe, just by looking at it. So 2 feet, 3 feet, that's gonna make packaging easy. The depth is where the problem is gonna be. I talked about that last video because of how deep that oil pan is. I might have to shorten it. Anyways, I'm gonna build a cart that's 2 feet by 3 feet, so that way I can set the engine on the cart and wheel it through the sand, or pull it behind one of the vehicles. That's the plan. If that actually, comes to be, will be another thing. So I'm going to make some cuts. I'm going to see my line here. Oh. My line right here. I'm going to do this a 2-foot section, and then I'm going to do the 2 3-foots out of this is an 8-foot piece. That's a 5-foot piece. I'm going to get the last. Shh. Oh, the crow. Shh. Stupid bird. Quiet on set. 2-foot section of that. 2-foot, 3-foot, 3-foot. Now I have like 3 feet left over. So let's get to cutting. And just like that, I have a square. Well, it's more of a rectangle, I guess. So I'm gonna notch these tubes on both sides to fit right there. So this bar is 2 feet. The doorway, which it needs to fit through, is like 28, 29 inches. So I have some room. So if I go 1.5 inches out on each side, make it, well, actually it'll probably be about 1 inch once I'm gonna have to recess it like a 1/2 inch when I notch these. So it'll be like, what, 24, 25, 26 inches wide maybe. I'll have a little bit to play with, which is good for me, Paquito. Yeah, getting that rectangle. Uh-oh, he heard. So yeah, and then there's going to be gussets in the corners, and that's where the wheels are going to sit in the 4 corners. The front 2 are going to be able to turn. I'm not 100% on how I'm going to do that yet. I'm going to have to figure that out. But it's a good start. It's a real good start. Just like that, the day has come and gone. So, here is the start of my engine cart. It's exactly like you saw it before, except now it's all welded, and it's not an idea, it's done, and it has, this is where it's going to turn. I'm going to have the casters, these are going to get shortened, then the wheels are going to mount under there, so I'll be able to turn it. And then, yeah, that's it. Wheels in the back, wheels in the front. The wheels in the front will turn, the wheels in the back will not turn. But it's pretty good. I haven't cleaned off all my welds, but I'm happy with them. They look pretty good. They look real good, so... Okay, so I pulled the brake booster back out. It was out the last time I filmed, but I did put it back in, I promise. Pulled it back out because I need to investigate. This is the master cylinder, the clutch master cylinder from the Dodge 2500. If I put it on the Dodge clutch pedal, which is difficult to do with one hand, it's proving. Haha! Alright, got it. I had to clearance the fender a little bit, that hurts. But I need to bring this out like a ½ an inch, and then I'm going to be able to use this. But this hits the booster. The booster comes to like right here. So I'm going to have to get a different booster. Rip. I also want to go full disc brake. This is a drum brake car, so I'd have to switch the master. Well, I wouldn't really have to, but I would. I mean, you're supposed to. Or something. I don't know. So, I can't run that booster. I have to get a different booster. I have to do some clearancing to make that master work. And then, under the dash, I was looking, and this is the plan here. Check this junk out. Oh, man. Oof. So you see all this emptiness. I'm going to try and put this ECU. Oh! Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Buddy.
Modi.
Buddy.
Dylan's here. Dylan's back for round 2. I think I'm putting the ECU right here. I think that's a pretty good spot for it. We'll have to make a bracket another day. You ever seen a floating 12 valve? Now you have. Smash that subscribe button for more floating 12 valves. It comes a lot, huh? Anyways, the 12 valve is in the air. You see that? Got out. It's actually surprisingly super heavy. I don't know if you could have figured, could have guessed, but it's pretty heavy. I'm gonna pull this thing out of there, and then I'm gonna set it on the ground. Dylan has something to show you guys in a moment. He made a
Bro, there are
discovery.
grubs down here. Look at them. Dude. Since when?
Since when?
Dude, wait, look at that one's digging and stuff.
Dylan didn't know we had grubs. Didn't know they existed.
Oh, smash that like button for more grub action. Look at them.
Smash that like button. More grub action. So, yeah, plan. Whoa, almost fell over. That's not the plan. Get this frame out of here. Get the diesel on the ground. Sun's going down. Running out of time. So, oh, spider. Alrighty, so I forgot to film a whole lot with my cart, but now I have an actual cart. It's not just a metal rectangle. It's got front wheels, it's got back wheels. I'm about to reinforce the rear section here, because that is not going to cut it. It's just this one bar. And then the front, see I got little stops for its steering, little skids right here, because it's definitely going to bend in. Whole lot of nonsense. Check that junk out. That's alright. I made this. Homemade cart. I bought these wheels. They're like 13 bucks a piece or something. A little bent, but that don't matter. It's not going fast. It's a little wobbly. So I'm going to reinforce this, and then once it's fully reinforced, I'm going to get it under the engine so I can put the weight on it and then build the uprights that are going to actually hold the engine, which is pretty exciting. Alright, so as you can see, we are not where the Cummins has been sitting for the last year, over there in that region of the house, of the yard. We are now up here, up by the front. There's the Cummins. And it was a little bit of a mission, but I made a cart and I got my engine to here. So that's pretty exciting. It rolled through the sand. The cart hasn't broken yet. That's a huge plus. Yeah, it worked. It steers. I'll explain the cart in a moment. I am going to take the engine off of it because I'm going to build. You can see right here, I kind of started to, but it kept breaking off. I'm going to build stands that actually bolt on to... These are the factory engine mounts for this 12-valve Cummins, and these are from a leaf spring. Cut these off, have a thing that goes in here to hold it. So it's going to be actually supported in this thing so I can still drop the pan. Because right now as it sits, I couldn't drop the pan because see, it's sitting on the pan right there. So I want to be able to fully work on this engine on this cart, which this is, I mean, this is pretty exciting that it's this far. We went from, hi dogs, we went from way over there all the way to there last night. That's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. Kind of stoked about it that I made that cart. The only thing I bought was the bolts that I used for the axles and the tires themselves. So see if you see, it's just a 5/8 bolt with a little thing in there, and see all that, the whole steering setup, the little skid that it rides on. See, the reason I put that skid in there is if you look, see how that is actually touching? Well, the tire's touching a little too, but it still rolls with the tire touching a little, so that ain't no thing. But I'm gonna put a little grease on the top of here so that it can slide on that skid, and that's just because this is only held on right here. This axle is only attached right here. And if it bends, I didn't want it to break off of here, but it can only bend up until the little skid. Hi Paco, you're getting all up in my situation here. Then it has a jack handle. That's cool. I can take the handle off. So I'm going to do a couple more things to the cart itself, and then I'm going to take it all apart and paint it. I'll take the wheels off, take the handle off. Alrighty, so I have the engine, 12-valve Cummins, sitting on its cart. I just welded in these right here. See how these are the factory Dodge Cummins mounts. I just added. These are from a leaf spring. This is from, I believe, a sway bar. Oh, not a sway bar. That'd be a huge sway bar. What are those things called? A control arm. I believe this is a control arm pivot. Might be wrong, but these are the leaf spring bolts and the leaf spring shackle tabs on the factory Dodge motor mount that I cut off. You can see where I cut it. So that is how it's going to sit. It's pretty centered on there. The cart should hold it. Hopefully, I am going to put a block of wood underneath this portion of it because I don't want it to be wobbly like that. So that is that. I'm going to take the engine off the cart and then put the engine back on the cart on the ground. But I think it's done. Next is sanding. I have to wire wheel all the junctions and then paint. Right, dogs? I'm going to paint it like this color. Good job, dude. Alright, I got my cart done. Look at this. I sanded it, I painted it. I did all the things. It's successfully holding. I have these safety blocks here, just in case I get a flat tire. I don't want it to tip over. Me and Drake got it in here. Good job, dude. We did it many days ago, but for video's sake, we did it 12 seconds ago. Yeah, look at it. It's done. It works. We got it in here. The engine is sitting on the cart 100% all by itself. I did do the block of wood. Uh-oh, I'm knocking things over. You see that? Block of wood. Wow. So I'm not going to touch the engine for a few videos because I'm just not ready. I'm just not at that point. I want to do a couple things to the car first, and then when it gets a little colder, I'll probably work on it. It is end of fall. It's getting towards winter. When it's a little colder and I have to be inside, well, I don't have to be, but I would like to be inside, then I'll work on this thing. Oh, Jay. What the... So, that's all for the engine. The stand is made. I got it out of the corner. That was the main goal. Now I'm going to work on the wagon again, but that's going to be in the next video because it's the end of this video. So thanks for watching me build the 12-valve Cummins engine cart. It's pretty cool. It's made out of junk, a jack handle. Actually, it's not junk. It's made out of scrap Dodge parts, leaf spring parts, an old jack handle, some random scrap bits, some tires I bought, and a couple bolts. That's all, folks. So anyways, I'll see you next time. Like to watch the 2 videos, like this video, subscribe. Part 3 is going to be cool. I'm doing master cylinder stuff and some fabrication stuff. So I'll see you next time. Right, Drake?
Correct.
Bam.